Hey guys, Sleepless here with Sleepless Games. Just wanted to give you a little rundown on Metal Gear Solid 5, The Phantom Pain. But first I want to start with the history of the Metal Gear series. And the first one was Metal Gear Solid is an action adventure stealth video game. First released on the PlayStation in 1998. There was also the Metal Gear games on the NES. That came out in Japan first. It is basically a Japanese game. It was the first of its kind, pretty much. Nobody ever saw anything like it. It was just ridiculous. But there's not much to talk about on the series. There's a lot, and then it would just take me forever. So I'm not gonna bother giving you a full rundown on the history of it. But I recommend going back, playing all of them. Don't just start with number 5. You can if you want, but I'd suggest going back. There was a demo released before Metal Gear Solid 5 called Ground Zero, which, even though it's a demo, it's basically its own game. You still have to pay for it, but it's a little prequel to Metal Gear Solid 5. Ground Zero was specifically made for this. And it basically gets you used to the new controls and dropped into the story, so they don't have to. It took so long to make the game that they had to put out this and just get everybody back into it and get everybody kind of remembering how wacky the series is. But alright, let's talk about Metal Gear Solid 5 though. You play as Big Boss, also known as Venom Snake. It takes place in 1984, Soviet-occupied Afghanistan. It also goes into Angola later on in the game. So this a big open world game. Takes place. There's like 2 big maps that you can go to, and then you also have your mother base, which is this huge oil rig that you basically set up for your mercenary group that you control. And basically while you were gone after Ground Zero, your team kind of, like your 2 core members, Ocelot and Kazuhiro Miller, he kind of kept the operation going underneath a new name. It's now called Diamond Dogs. But yeah, after Ground Zero, you were in a helicopter crash. You took a bunch of shrapnel. You're missing an arm, so which is alright, because you get a kick-ass biotic arm, which you can get upgrades for and turn into like a rocket propelled fist that comes out, and a couple other crazy items like the cardboard box that you can put posters on that you find throughout the world, and just a bunch of crazy weapons. But mainly I just stick with the tranquilizer dart, because that's the way I always felt like you had to play the game. I don't feel the need to kill everything. You don't even have to kill the bosses. You can just tranquilize them until they pass out. And that's just it for me. It's just a stealth game. It's supposed to be played like that. Most people, I think, would agree with me. But other than that, just enjoy the game. It's really crazy and eccentric. It's just amazing. I recommend going back and playing the other games. Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater in particular is my favorite. But if you have a 360 or the older consoles, it's not on the PS4 and Xbox One as far as I know. You might be able to get it on Xbox One or back play or whatever they call it. But that's pretty much it. Just have a good night. Go play some Metal Gear Solid.